It begins. Stay tuned and all will be revealed. Well, good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Piccadilly. Now, as you can see, I'm at the back of the layout now where I've recently installed these 4 tracks. So obviously 2 tracks going down here through the main line and 2 tracks going through Piccadilly Station there. Now, I want to get the scenery back in as quickly as possible, but obviously it needs some modifications because it's got to accommodate the 4 tracks. Now, so I'm going to start here. And if you remember from previous videos, or if you've been with me a while, there is a unit, a scenery unit that fits in here with another tunnel portal over those 2 lines. And there was a 2-track tunnel portal over these 2 lines. So obviously that needs to be widened to accommodate these new outer lines. So with a bit of experimentation on Tinkercad, I've made that. Now that is just a bit of a measuring guide, if you like, and the positioning exact will need to be adjusted slightly. But the idea is to check the clearances. So if a train comes through, particularly on this line, does it catch the side of the tunnel with the nose cone? And likewise, if it comes through on this line, those 2 points, well, that point there, to be honest, will the centre of the carriage catch at this point? So I have made, this is the second version, so I did make it a bit wider, but I think actually where clearances are concerned, that's going to be more than adequate. So the actual thing, 2 sides and a roof, is actually printing as we speak, and then it'll be a case of gluing it into the module. Obviously I'll need to modify that module and then sort of rebuild the scenery to match. Okay, let's go and have a look. Welcome back. So you can now see I've made the bridge or the tunnel section, and the way that was done, it's obviously 3D printed, as you can tell, and been primed. This is a separate piece and I've just glued that to the end, so another tunnel portal. Now, I'm not going to go into great depth, obviously, but if you know how to create an arch in, say, Tinkercad or other programs like that, you will realise that this is curved. And the way I've done that is to make each section, say, 1 inch wide, and then duplicate it, take it along, and then just turn by about 1 degree, 2 degrees, and then just keep adding. In Tinkercad, you can actually just keep hitting copy, and it will just put successive shapes in following the pattern of the first one that you put in there. So it would create the curve for you. If you find that the curve is too sharp or too shallow, you can take it back to the first one, start again, duplicate, and then either increase the number of degrees or decrease them and so on. Now, that you will realise is following the same format as that. So in theory, that should fit over there nicely, and you should be able to run trains through it. So let's have a look. There you go. So the class 800 has got my longest coaches, and the Pendolino has probably got one of the biggest noses of the trains, followed probably by this. So you can see, I'll bring it round the back now, it's a little bit darker, so forgive me for that, but hopefully you can see there is no issues whatsoever. Pendolino first, and now the 800. So clearly that's going to work. Right, let's fit it. Okay, so that's the unit as it currently is back in place. So you can see that tunnel portal over there, and it's obviously raised up a bit because it's sitting on the tracks. So my next job then is to mark a line, an amount to take off, and then literally remove that amount so that that then can be sat inside the gap. There is a possibility, as it was sitting there, I may have to take off this back corner so that it lines up with that flat edge there. Right, so that's marked up now, so you can see how much has got come off. That's from the inside edge, and that is from the far edge. So all of that, basically. So the best way of doing that is to hack at it with a knife, I think. And it doesn't have to be beautiful, because I can soon pack it out again and re-glue it. I am going to use hot glue. So there we go, then that's the hole cut in the unit, and I'll just show you the back. Kind of like that. Now this bridge, this tunnel section is smaller than the actual hole I've cut. So what I'm going to have to do is sort of make some joins, if you like. So use pieces of card to connect these pieces across and so on. Like that piece there, glue it at the bottom part here and then glue it to the unit at the top. I'll just keep building on it like that. And once I've got the tunnel section sort of glued to the actual unit itself, then I can take it off and create a much better, stronger bond. And hopefully it'll come off, but without moving. So here we go then. Catch you later. Right, there it is. So yes, it is looking at a complete site, as you can see, but the whole idea of it is to attach this bit to this bit. And as I lift it up or turn it round, hopefully you can see the joins that have been made across there. So it's a case of going in now again and just adding more supports just to make it really, really strong. And then once I've done that, I'll then add brick papers to the inside of that tunnel mouth. And hopefully we should be getting somewhere close. You will notice I did cut the corner off, as I suggested I might, because it was overlapping quite a bit. Anyway, I will get that done and catch you shortly. Well, there we go. So far, nowhere close to finish yet. Obviously, all this area here needs to be foliaged, but what have I done? I bent, you saw the last clip with these bits of card stuck all everywhere. So I went back over with papier-mâché, some paper, PVA glue, and literally just plastered it all on. Because it's quite cold, it took quite a while to dry. But then I put some raw umber acrylic paint over the top. And if I turn it round, you will see I've done very similar at the back, sealing up this section here. There was a big open chasm there. The idea was literally to seal this plastic insert into this. Now you might be thinking, well, why have I done a plastic insert for the tunnel? Purely for strength, really. If I'd have made a card one, I would need to make this considerably stronger. And I think by using the 3D print on this occasion, that is a firm shell. And then I can bond that easily. And then this structure is not weakened, but strengthened by this, if that makes sense. So I'll just give you a bit of a clue here now. So I've obviously added this wing wall to the side here, and obviously this fillet bit. The only reason I've put that on, that'll be like a retaining wall. And yes, I am aware there's a big open chasm here that needs filling up, because there's going to be another one of these, and that will sit this side. So when trains come in, it looks as if they're entering some kind of portal, if you like. If I move you back, this bit here is a flap, then hopefully that will sit nicely on top of the piece that is here, which is stuck to the layout. So hopefully that should work well. This piece, as I've just showed you, will be stuck to that piece on the layout, and then that will just rest up against it. So this piece will not be bonded to this unit at all. So I'll also show you the inside. I've put some paper on the inside there, and the paper at the top there, you might be seeing it's at a bit of an angle. Yeah, it is a little bit rough in there, but bear in mind it is a tunnel and you won't see clearly inside there. So I'm not overly worried by that. This does need, all the paper needs to be varnished with matte varnish and then weathered. So this will be considerably darker than it is now. These coping stones, they are quite large, and I wanted to do them deliberately that big because I think it's a big tunnel portal going over 4 tracks, and I think it deserved big stones, whereas you see that one is quite a lot more refined in that sense. But I think this will look a little bit more spectacular, having all the different colours put in there. So we've got white, we've got beige, we've got dark, medium grey, then we've got dark grey, and I literally just splatter them all over and then go over it with a dry brush, even on this little bit along here, and obviously down here, all down the coping stones here and all along here, and clearly in the corresponding bit just there too. So that's pretty much it. I will take it up and put it on the layout so you can see, and then if it's possible to get trains running through it, then I will. It depends on how much I need to do to this bit to get it to sit properly on the layout. If it's a simple cut or it sits properly at first time round, then I can just turn the trains on. Okay, let's get it up there then. Well, as you can see there, it seems to fit quite nicely. So we're nice and tight up against that junction there, and the gap seems to be okay there. Obviously there's some work to do here, I'm not going to deny that, but I'll do that when I come to do this section probably next year, to be honest. And so obviously there still needs to be work done on this. I will complete this to make sure that it's refoliaged. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing the restoration of this scenery and how I've put the tunnel in over the 4 tracks. I will be working on it over the coming days and weeks, and I will see you again very, very soon here on Piccadilly. Take care of yourself, and bye for now.